Donald Trump has admitted he does shut his eyes during cabinet meetings because, quote, they're as boring as hell. In the past, the US president has appeared to fall asleep multiple times during Oval Office announcements and cabinet meetings. Mr. Trump says he listens to what everyone has to say, but it's hard sometimes to keep his eyes open.
So last time we had a press conference, it lasted for 3 hours, and some people said he closed his eyes. Look, it got pretty boring. In all fairness, I love these people. But there's a lot of people. It was a little bit on the boring side. But I didn't sleep. I just closed them because I wanted to get the hell out of here. The shot, Ozempic, I think, or one of them. And I told him it wasn't working. For him, it didn't work. And he brought up a good point. It didn't work. I told him, he knows who I'm talking about. He's going crazy. He begs me not to mention it.
He's not talking about me, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it's not our great vice president. No, but he begs me not to mention his name because he's become very famous without mentioning his name. And he is actually a very well-known business person. But he did make a point. But I knew the point very well. We were always paying far more than any other nation. We were subsidizing the world. Right now, there's no more of that. So we're going to be bringing the drug prices down at numbers never seen before.
Donald Trump claims he has specifically requested that Vladimir Putin hold off further attacks on Kiev. Speaking at his first cabinet meeting of the year this morning, the US president says he called the Russian leader and asked him not to attack Ukraine as the country endures extremely cold weather. Temperatures in Ukraine expected to drop as low as minus 30 degrees Celsius from next week.
Because of the cold, extreme cold, they have the same that we do. I personally asked President Putin not to fire on Kiev and the cities and towns for a week during this. It's extraordinary. It's not just like cold, it's extraordinary cold.
During the meeting, the President's Special Envoy Steve Witkoff told colleagues that they were making good progress on peace talks as well. As David Blevins reports, the Secretary of War Pete Hegseth also spoke about the American military's options in Iran during today's meeting.
You will remember yesterday President Trump posted that a large armada was travelling there at some speed. That fuelled speculation that some kind of military action may be imminent. The President himself hasn't spoken about that this morning. He has, of course, spoken about the recent military action in Venezuela, praising the Pentagon for the audacious nature of the raid that sees Nicolas Maduro. He also talked about the fact that they hope to open the airspace there so that oil executives in particular can travel to Venezuela soon. So we were hoping he would perhaps take some questions towards the end in relation to his comments on Iran yesterday. He didn't do that, but the self-styled Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, made it very clear that they're ready to carry out the President's orders. This is what he had to say.
We will be prepared to deliver whatever this president expects of the War Department, just like we did this month.
I think the strongest words we've heard at this cabinet meeting were in relation to Ukraine, actually. They came from the President's envoy, Steve Witkoff. He said that they had a security deal largely finished. They had a prosperity deal largely finished. That they were still discussing land, but that there had been enormous progress. He said Russia had been doing things that people wouldn't give them credit for, and he himself praised the President for the role he has played. President Trump himself himself responded by saying he personally had asked Vladimir Putin not to attack Kyiv due to the very cold temperature during the winter there. That sounds like the semblance of a ceasefire of some sort, so it does indeed seem to be significant. It is telling, I think, that the President didn't take any questions at the end. My read of that is that perhaps he didn't want to reveal his hand on Iran, or perhaps he didn't want to have to answer questions about his Homeland Security Secretary, Kristi Noem, while she was seated at that table.